print understanding comments, right? So we saw that the commenting is just a way of describing your code in order to understand what that line of code is working, especially by making it by making Python to ignore those lines of write-ups that you write as comments, right? So that it also allow you to understand your code when you are revisiting it next time, or when you are sharing it for people to understand what your particular portion of your code is doing. So that's the importance of that. So we're using comments most of the time. So when we say comment your code, it's a good practice to try to focus on commenting your code for yourself and others as well. In this session, we want to understand another thing that we see when we just enter the JDB platform, right? That is the print. We have the print function. So over here in this example, I have comments at the top, right? I wrote it myself. So that's a comment, is understanding the print function. And then over here we have the print itself, right? This is what we have, print. Okay, now we'll be using this print. When I run this particular set of code, we know that the comments will not be read, right? But then we run that. See on this section we have this is my name inside the print. So whatever was written inside the print here, this thing inside the quotation mark of the print, we see that that's what appears over there. Like that's what appears in the print section, in the console. So let's see, what does the print do? So as the name says, it's used to print an information to the console, right? I said the console or the terminal is where the user interacts. That's the only thing that the user is seeing. But behind this, there's a code, and the code that we are having is in Python language. And this is the portion of it. This side of it is what we have. And then the black portion, the dark portion, is where the user will be seeing in order to interact with. So the print function is used whenever you want to see something on the terminal, whenever you want to see something on an information from the code onto your terminal or at the user end. You use the print function. That's how Python, right? That's how Python displays its information onto the terminal. We might learn other ways in future where we'll talk about the input function, right? Right now, the print function is the most common, is the one that you'll be working with mostly. You'll be using print because whatever you are building, it's hard to show on the terminal. So print always displays every information that you want to show there on the terminal. Yes, so print should be your friend. Okay, now this information, right, that we have here, you see that we have print into brackets. The bracket comes before we write whatever we have there. So let's write another print. So you have to do the print, then you have to bring this close brackets. Now something like this, a command that Python understand, or a task that Python understand by default, right? When you're using Python has some built-in command that it understands. So right now when we are saying print into brackets, we are telling, meaning that you're going to tell the Python to do something. We are going to give it a task to do. So we are going to give it a function to do. So we are saying that Python perform this function. Python perform this print function. So if you write a print and you put a two brackets beside, you put so a name like a command and then a square bracket beside it, or I say square bracket, the parenthesis in front of it. Then you are calling a function. You are telling the Python to perform a function. We'll have a time that we understand what functions are. But in simple terms, just understand that functions are just like command or task, direct tasks that you are telling the computer to do. So computer do this. So computer print this. Are you okay? So that's what we say is a print function. You can call it a print command. It's as if you are commanding the computer or Python to do something. So print function. So it's a function for you to be used by Python. Okay, so you want Python to print something, right? So now I want to print an information. What information should you print? This is my first time doing the print function. So we have to bring the quotation mark. We'll talk about that later on when we are doing data types. Right now the quotation mark should come so that we can write whatever you want. So we can, inside this quotation mark, you can write whatever you want to have, right? This you, it's you that is telling the Python to print something using the print function, right? Using the print command. So this, so let's say this is my other, or let's say this is my second print information. Yeah, so this is my second print information. Is what we have in this. Let's run this, and what we have. Yeah, so it appears here. This is my name inside the print. That's the first print, and then this is my second print information. Now it comes second. It appears as how we want it, right? So you have two prints there. So whenever you're using the print, is to display an information onto the terminal, right? Now, inside you see that whatever we have, we want the Python to print, right? We put it inside the bracket, and before we display that, we bring the quotation marks, right? We bring the quotation mark. But let's see something. Let's write another one, right? Let's write another one. Let's call it print. So this is the third print. Yeah, so this is the third print that we are having. So when I run this, what do we have? It comes third. This is my, so this is the third print, comes third. 1 2 3. Each of them is occupying a new line. Each of them is occupying a new line, right? Python is displaying that exactly on new lines whenever we do a print. So I want to make sure you understand that every print that you do, right, Python will use it and display it on a new line. If it is longer, it will print it until the entire line is filled. But everything is filled there, but it's actually occupying a single line. When you do another print and another information to that, that one will move to another line. The same thing will happen to the third one. So the more you're using the print always comes with a new line all the time, right? Every new print that you do will occupy its own line. Every new print that you do will occupy its own line. What if we want to put our name in such a way that they are all on the same line? What if you want Python to stop and then not be occupying every new line whenever we use the print, right? By default, Python will put whatever information you give it onto a new line, onto a single line, even if it is one item, right? If it is one item, let's clean the second one and just put, let me put nothing there. Nothing is inside, right? Now run that. You see that there is a space between the first and second, right? So meaning the first one, this is my name inside the print counts. So it will move to the next line. In the next line, we see that the print that's the middle does not have anything. So that full line is for that print before you go to the next line. Okay. So now let's put another A inside. Let me just put A inside. When I write that, you see the A occupies the second line. So every print occupies a full line on its own, whether it's there or not, right? So now let's try to make it that. What if you want something like this? My name is, then let's say Scholar Opportunity Nurses. That's done. We teach and learn Python. Something like that. We teach and learn Python. This is some simple information. What I actually want is that my name is San should be on the same line, and the next information should be. But when we run this, what we have is, yeah, my name is San, and then we teach and learn Python comes third. But I actually want it to be on the same line. I want my name is, then San should come. Yeah, you could tell me to just put it inside the first one and then clean the second print, right? But that's what I want. I want to use three prints and make sure that Python, when the first line ends, right, it shouldn't occupy the rest of the line. It should allow space for the second one to come in. So how do I do that? To do that, we have, after you write whatever information that you have, you put comma there, and then there's a particular function that allow you to make Python allow the other space, the remaining space, to be used by the next print or by the next line of code, right? We call it end. End equals to um wait, um where's my equals to? Sorry, yeah. So n equals to, then yeah, this space. So what we are saying is that Python, we are telling the print function. It usually starts with a new line, right? But then we tell the printer my name is, then we'll print this a comma end. So that line, right? Whenever it ends, right? Whenever whatever you will say, my name is, whenever it ends, we will have to end it with, the end should be equal to this space, right? So I'm putting a space there, this space, to end it. So it allows this command, this particular line, right, allows Python, the print function, to stop and then allow the next line, the next function or the next Python, the next print, to occupy that same line, right? So now when you run this, let's see what we will see. Yeah, so this is what we have. So my name is San, we teach and learn Python. Why did the third one come to the next line? Because um, this print already occupy the full line. So if you want the next one to also um, occupy the same line as the Sun, what we have to do is that we have to end the Sun print function. So when you have a print function, the print function occupies the full line. But whenever you want to stop it at a particular place, so you don't want the print function to occupy the full line, you use the end. End equals this. So the end will make sure that the print function doesn't occupy the whole line, allow a space for the next print function or the next command to run there. Whenever you want to do that, whenever you're using the print function, you can use this to end it and then continue later with other things that you may have. Okay. Now it's not just the space, right? We can if whatever you put inside this quotation mark after that, so the end equals to. So now when I put this thing inside, right? When I put the equal to inside, when I run it, you see that equal to Sun. You see that that's what appears here. And then whenever I want to do it like this, and I run it, yeah. So you see like dash come before the Sun. So we are ending it with this dash. We are ending it with this dash. So the next thing will take it from there. That's what the print function is doing. So whatever you put inside this end, right? That's what will occupy. That's what will separate the previous print and the next print. Whatever is inside this space is what will separate the current print and the next print. So let me put this at over here. So when I put this at over here and I run it, yeah, at Sun, my name is at Sun, that's what comes, right? So whatever you put inside there is what we appear separate the current print from the next one. If I clean this and just put a space there, or I just clean it and put nothing there, what will happen is that it will just run like that, because I've not put anything there. If I put a space, the space will be there. But whenever I put any symbol within this quotation mark of the end, then you are going to have it separating the current print from the next print. But without it, without this one, what happens is that you run it, and then every print must occupy its own line by default, right? Yes, that's what the print is. So print is used whenever you want to see something on the terminal. Whenever you want to see something on the terminal, the print does that for you. Yes, so these are the tools. This is the introduction to the things that we see by default when we visit the platform. But now we are now going to understand data types, because when we're doing the print, right, there's always quotation mark before something comes. Like we write something and listen. That's an example of a data type, right? So those are strings and all that. So we start navigating into the data types in the next sessions and begin to work with numbers and see how to build our understanding and concepts in Python. I hope that you have understood this session, and then you are now able to write something in the particular print function in order to make it nice for you reading for people, right? Yes. Let's continue this journey and see how far we can get to. See you in the next session.